Here we are, it's day 2, the Workhorse Pit 1975 W for wagon wheel setup. Arrived late last night. There's a 1975. Thought I would just give everyone a quick walkthrough as well as describe some of the standard features of the grill and then some of the extra features that I went ahead and purchased. So first things first, it's a beast. It's roughly 850 pounds. If you have any hopes of moving it across your grass, because this is eventually going out back here, you're going to want the wheel package. It's pricey, but there's no way you can move it on the 5 or 8 inch casters across grass. It will just sink in, and that's not going to work out for you. So obviously that describes the first upgrade I purchased, which was the wheel package. You can see here is the smokestack. It's actually a collapsible smokestack. So the stack comes down for storage, and it has a little set screw here, which I removed. And you install your set screw there just to keep it in place while it's cooking. Over on the back end is the actual firebox. Some real small assembly. You have to put this screw in, and here's where you control the airflow into the firebox, and you can tighten or loosen that set screw to keep it in a fixed position. Taking a look inside the very large firebox itself, sorry for the glare, but as you can see, or maybe you can't see, but it's a massive, it's probably, I'm guessing 35, 40 gallons. It's a massive firebox. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna get a rack to support my coals eventually. There's differing opinions out there. I'll certainly figure out what I will do. Maybe I'll buy one, test it out, and then go from there. Again, it's heavy. It is 3/8 inch steel all around. So both within the firebox and the cook chamber. Standard on a lot of these custom pits made throughout the country is a 1/4 inch with the ability to upgrade to a 1/2 on either of your chambers. A 1/2 inch steel is probably more insulation than you would ever need outside of maybe the Arctic. But the standard model on the Workhorse pits is 3/8 inch. And my camera angle may get a little wonky here because I'm about to lift the front cover, and it is excessively heavy. You can see why a lot of them come with counterweights. So here's a look inside the cook chamber itself. An additional option I purchased was this nice, very easy to pull out top rack. It's a little smaller size-wise. The main cooking rack is about 4 feet by 2 feet, and the top cooking rack is about 3.5 feet by 1.5 feet. Overall, the total cooking area comes to about 12 square feet, 1,700 square inches. With the top rack, since you'll be cooking up high, they also add, and you can see the inside of where the thermometers come in, they also add 2 additional thermometers. When we close the grill up, we'll take another look at that. The smokestack, it is massive. I can't wait to see what the draw on this is going to be. Here is, obviously when you're running it, you're gonna have that full open. And then maybe to keep the critters out of in between, you just cover it back up in between cooking. Got a bunch of notes here. I did an extra I did not purchase. Right here on the front of the firebox, you can get a cowboy grate, which would do 2 things. One, it would give you a door, another door, point of entry on the front of the cookbox, the firebox. And then inside it, there'd be a rack so you could sear a steak or cook burgers right on top of your coals, which would be in here. Did not purchase that, figured that's why I have my other grills. I don't intend to cook a lot of burgers or steaks on this. Another extra I did not purchase was, and you cannot purchase this with the wagon option, but they do offer a side table that would come in just below the smokestack and flop and kind of be stored in a down position, kind of where the handle for the wagon is. For obvious reasons, that is not an available option with the wagon wheels. Standard on all of them, you have a little probe insert here where you can put your external probe and run your wires through. And taking a look on the inside, maybe you can see that's where it comes in on the inside. And if you choose to do your probes that way, I use the wireless meter, MEATER probes. I'm sure they'll still transmit through this steel, even given the size of it. On the bottom here, that is the drain pit for the water. I haven't quite got around to operating this little nut yet, but you can also see, if I move the grate, you probably could see, that's the hole where the water pit. So give it a nice thorough cleaning, just put your bucket underneath, though you'll have to angle your bucket given that the water pit is right above the axle, or I guess what I'm calling the axle, the longitudinal bar that supports the grill underneath. This gives you a decent look inside. You can also see this is not seasoned yet, so there's still a bunch of kind of spots or blemishes and some fines left from the production process. In the coming days, I will be doing two things. First is to just clean the grates in some hot sudsy water. And then after, bang, sorry about that. Then after that's done, we're gonna go ahead and season the entire interior of the grill with a neutral canola oil, and then give it its initial roughly 6-hour burn. It was a standard recommendation for most smokers, and certainly no different case here. I'm gonna close it back up just to take a look at those thermometers that are provided by Workhorse. You can see they all have the Workhorse logo on them. And again, a couple minor imperfections isn't the right word, but a couple minor blemishes that once the pit is seasoned internally and then externally with linseed oil, those should be taken care of toot sweet. I think that pretty much covers it for the initial walkthrough. Again, it's a 1975W, which is the largest version that Workhorse offers. By my math, it's roughly a 90-gallon pit, to put that into comparison to maybe some of the videos you've seen out there in terms of how big people's pits are. Eventually, again, this will live out in the backyard. I have to put a little stone patio together first before I move it out there, as well as relocate the rest of kind of my grill inventory, which is certainly not just this singular grill. I think most people don't arrive at the point of getting an offset like this and not having anything else, and I'm certainly no different. Look forward to talking with you all in the future and sharing kind of our exploits. And as we learn, if you have any questions that I didn't cover, or questions or future topics you'd like answered, please just leave a comment below and we'll get back to you. Thank you.